Good morning, everyone. I'm here with Dini and Yehuda Tzvi in Jerusalem at the Teddy Stadium in the heart of Jerusalem for the Maccabiah Games of 2022. And there are tens of thousands of people streaming into the stadium to watch the opening ceremonies where President Biden will be speaking as well as the President of Israel and many other dignitaries. And teams of 80 different countries will be marching in the opening ceremony, and many of our own members, children and grandchildren, are here as well. Before we came here, we had a meal in a restaurant, and the waiter came over, and I said, "Shalom, what's your name?" He said, "My name is Avraham." And I said, "Well, my name is Moshe." That's two very great names in Jewish history. And the Israeli waiter says, "Yeah, I'm feeling it." And that's the beauty of Israel. You come to Israel, just when you say hello to someone, he says, "My name is Avram," you say, "Your name is Moshe," right away you're transported 3,000-4,000 years back in Jewish history, and you feel the tremendous bond that you have with every Jew here in Israel. This week's Torah portion is the famous story of Bilam, the Gentile prophet, who was hired by Balak to curse the Jewish people, but God did not allow him to curse the Jews, and only blessings came out of his mouth. Now rabbis say, look at the name Bilam. The word Bilam also means Bili'am, without a nation, which means the failure of Bilam is described in his very name. He had no nation, he had no loyalty, he had no fidelity to any particular nation. He was just a prophet for hire. Whoever would pay him gold and silver and give him honor, he was ready to work for them. As opposed to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, the leader of the Jewish people, who was all about loyalty, who left the palace where he was being raised as a prince to go defend a fellow Jew and risk his life. And then he went to save the Jews and take them out of Egypt. And even when the Jews sinned with the golden calf, he pleaded for forgiveness on their behalf. And when his own sister Miriam spoke Lashon Hara about him, he prayed for her healing. The Jewish leader Moshe shows us that a leader has to be someone who has core principles and values and loyalty and devotion to the people that they lead. And not just an opportunist like Bilam who's looking for an opportunity to become rich. And this is how rabbis explain how under the marriage canopy, when the groom puts the ring on the finger of the bride, the groom says, "May you be betrothed to me according to the laws of Moses and Israel." And the question is, why Moses and Israel? All of the laws of Judaism are done according to the traditions and the laws of Moses and Israel. Why do we specify by a marriage? And one of the beautiful explanations is that what we're saying is that just like Moses was committed and loyal and devoted to the Jewish people with faithfulness, under all circumstances, even when the Jews were betraying God, or even when his own sister spoke negatively about him, and was willing to risk everything for his people, so too in this marriage, may you be like Moses and Israel. May you have the same love and devotion to be always there for each other. Even when, God forbid, you hurt each other or offended each other, you should never lose your loyalty, because that's what it really means to be a leader like Moshe Rabbeinu. Tell a story of this boy who was on the beach flying a kite, and the kite was going higher and higher. And then the boy had an idea. He said, if I cut the string, it will release the kite to fly even higher. So he cut the string, but instead of the kite going higher, the kite started to come down and down. And he turned to his father. He said, "I don't understand. I cut the string. I thought it would go higher." And his father said, "No. As long as you're connected to the kite, as long as you feel the tug in your heart, in your hand, then the kite will fly higher and higher." And that's true with the Jewish people. We soar to our greatest heights. We achieve the greatest things when we are bound to one another, when we are loyal to one another, when we are connected to one another, when we feel the pull in our heart, like the waiter told me, I'm feeling it. Moses and Abraham meeting in a restaurant in Jerusalem, just like our ancestors 3,000-4,000 years ago. That's the beauty of Israel. When you come to Israel, you say, what is it about this country? Why do you feel so happy when you arrive here? And the answer is, you look at every person and you feel in your heart like the string of the kite pulling you. You feel the love, the connection, the loyalty, knowing that every person in this country loves you and cares about you and will do anything on your behalf. And that's what we're going to see tonight in the Maccabiah Games. Jews from 80 countries, 80 different languages, 80 different nationalities, 80 different cultures, but all standing as one and saying we may this be dispersed all over the world, but wherever we are around the world, we know we're Jews, we know we love each other, and we are loyal and faithful to one another. Have a wonderful day, and may we continue to go from strength to strength through deeper commitment, connection, bonding, love, loyalty, and faithfulness to each other and to God.